All right, guys.
That's enough. Well, it's been a long time.
Yeah, welcome back.
Well, it's only been a week.
Right.
But we've got a very special guest here. Some of y'all are probably thrown off by this timeline. But we've got a very special guest today that joined us.
Very talented.
He's actually waiting over in the other room right now.
He's handsome as well.
Yeah, so we're kind of gonna we're just gonna interview him and whatnot. What's his name?
Kyle.
That's right.
Both of us have brothers named Kyle too. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Yeah.
We have another brother, Kyle Gazande,
Yeah.
waiting over in the other room right now as we speak. So, welcome to the Convo with Kurt and Colton.
I'm Kurt.
And I'm Colton.
And this is the Convo. Is that what it is?
Welcome to the Convo with Kurt and Colton, where we talk about music, life, and reality.
I'm Kurt.
And I'm Colton.
And this is the Convo.
What do you say? How about we
Over?
yeah, all right, let's do it. We have Kyle Gazande here in the house.
Yep.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It's an honor.
Thank you for that. Wrong one.
Sorry. Yeah.
Could you tell us what you're here for and what you guys are working on this week?
Yeah, Kurt.
Well, we're here. Kyle Guisande, if you don't know, is an amazing songwriter, producer, singer, multi-instrumentalist, actually.
That's right.
So he's here doing all the above. We're honored to have him.
Man, it's the honor is mine. So,
Can you briefly tell us who you are and what you do creatively?
yeah. As you mentioned, my name is Kyle Guisande, and I currently play guitar at Cornerstone Pentecostal Church in Spokane, Washington, pastored by Pastor Rick Mayo, and I write songs on the side.
Very nice. You also release music under your name, of course, Kyle Gazande. You have some singles out. Also under Autopilot Worship, which we'll talk about soon. And then you've released several songs under Brenda Gazande, right? For your mother. Did you produce those?
Yeah. Yep. Those are songs that my mom has written, and I just had the privilege of helping her out with production. So,
Very nice.
Did you say you're her favorite child? Would she say that you're her favorite child?
you know what? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like maybe we're all equal.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. We'll have to wait until see if she listens to this and.
Yeah. Maybe you'll have to have her on. And
Yeah,
ask her
definitely.
questions.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe if she leaves us a good review, we'll know.
Yeah.
We'll know that you're her favorite. So one thing I've noticed about your music is it's not like it doesn't fit the mainstream everything else like that we see. Like even from your song names, like Tightrope, Wolves,
End of Me.
End of Me, Without Reasons. What is your approach to creating something new? Like, what do you think it is that makes everything that you do be just a little bit different?
Man, I don't know. I just, when I first started writing, I think I tried to write with using other people's music as a point of reference, and for a while, I think I maybe imitated those sounds, and I'm sure we'll talk about it. But when I came back to the Lord, I don't know. I kind of just started writing stuff that was personal to me, and that included the music, things that I felt were genuinely me, and so yeah, I don't know. I just try to write things that I enjoy.
Right. So it's just being real, and your music is you through the whole process. Like you're writing the music, you're producing and arranging and recording, and it's like all your hands on it. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
So your group Autopilot Worship seemed to just kind of jump out of nowhere And I mean, the songs they're great. We've done one in church.
Mm-hmm. It's done.
Yeah, it's done. It's a good song.
It's awesome.
Awesome. Can you explain who that group is, where the name came from, like kind of just what was the idea behind it? How did it all happen?
Yeah, sure. So Autopilot Worship is basically a group of about 6 or 7 young people from Cornerstone Church, and they're super talented, all vocally and super creative. And I just saw, this group of young people and thought that they could do an incredible job with, as a group. And so I kind of asked them all to be a part of a project, and it kind of started like that. And we just put out, we put out Amazed, I think was the first one. And then we just kept going with it. So yeah, it was just a group of young people from Cornerstone.
Does the name have any significant meanings?
Yeah. So Autopilot Worship, when I was thinking of names of what to call it, Autopilot kind of jumped out to me for the reason of, I guess basically writing music and letting God take control. So, letting go of all control and not worrying about, who's going to see this or whatever, but just letting God take control and kind of putting it on autopilot and letting go of the wheel and just whatever happens, wherever God wants to take it. So that's kind of the idea.
It's nice.
That's good.
So Kurt had a question earlier. We were talking. Who does your album art?
Yeah, it's pretty out there.
I mean, it's really good. Like, I would listen to your songs if I didn't know.
Yeah, I was like,
it's very catchy.
She's from Southern California, and honestly, I just saw her artwork on Instagram, and I reached out to her, and she doesn't go to church that I know of, or at least one of our churches. But I reached out to her and sent her my music, and she was willing to collaborate, and she did the first one, and then we just kept going. But yeah, she's super talented.
Yeah, everything's really cool outside the box. It's nice. It's not like a picture you holding a guitar playing a G chord.
Railroad tracks. Yeah.
Yeah, railroad tracks.
Yeah.
So maybe you could do that for the next one.
Yeah.
That's just an idea. I don't know if anybody's done it yet, but
I think cool I owe it to everyone to, everyone's got to have that album cover.
I think you need to do one with your guitar behind your back. Like,
yes.
Yeah, playing a chord, like show everybody again. Yeah. What I like about those is because like that picture also doubles as like a senior, like a graduation picture, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So like you could kind of take that and just put your name and the name of the album on there. That's a good idea.
Use it for multiple things.
Yeah.
Just recycle it.
It's pretty sick.
But yeah, I mean to the artwork, I guess there's a lot of, I guess, in each one there's a message that kind of ties in with the song, and if you notice, like the first character is a kid, and Without Reasons, and then in Wolves, it's the same character but he's older, and they're different seasons of my life, So one, Without Reasons is a kid who just wants to be accepted and wants to be that hero that everyone, loves, wants to be popular. There's a little bit more to it, but that's the main message of it. And then Wolves is kind of, as I got older and developed struggles, that's kind of, so each one kind of is a season, I guess you could say.
So has there been anything else since Wolves?
Yeah, so it was Without Reasons, and then Wolves, and then End of Me,
is the same boy still in that picture? Okay, so we know he got away from the wolves.
Yes, he made it. Whew. He made it.
My God.
Yes.
It's good.
To grandmother's house.
Over the river.
Yep.
So can you tell us about your creative process? So I know we're getting to see a little bit of it this week, but for everybody that's not here with us, what does your creative process look like whenever you get a song idea? Kurt mentioned earlier you're a multi-instrumentalist. What are you picking up first? You know, how are you getting it into your computer? Like what's all that look like?
Yeah. So I guess as far as what instrument I pick up first, I feel like it's different for every song. Or I guess talking about seasons, I guess I go through seasons with that as well. So for example, most of the songs that I've brought here for this particular project, working with you guys, those ideas were actually all started on the piano. But like, you know, the song Wolves or Without Reasons, I started those on the guitar. So waves of inspiration are different, I guess.
So when you're producing, what's your DAW of choice? Which DAW do you use?
I use Logic.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
I use Logic. Yes. I mentioned to Kurt earlier while we were driving that, you know, I think I mentioned it, but I took a college class, an audio tech class, and learned a little bit of Pro Tools, but, you know, I couldn't tell you the first thing about it now.
I couldn't either. I've got so used to Logic. It's just always what I've used. And Kurt mentioned it the other day. I got to get on the Pro Tools train. That way I can help. Like, I'm so lost in here.
Yeah, I'm doing all the work. I'm doing all the heavy lifting when him and Austin and Travis are working together.
It's like we don't know how to do anything.
They just stand there and watch me.
Yeah.
Travis uses Studio One.
So you do all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, unfortunately. Preston helps, though.
Yeah, Preston can do it. Yeah.
You're strong, though. You can do it.
I can do it.
Yeah.
So what about, like, when did you start? Because I know you've been playing guitar for a long time. Like, you were playing Peak whenever I was, like, just got into the youth group.
Which is weird because he's only 2 years older than you.
I know. But it was true because you were, like, probably 15 or 16, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was, like, 14 or something.
Yeah.
And I remember because you and Preston were playing. Yeah. And I was, like, just starting, I think.
I remember, I remember you coming up to us and talking to the musicians.
Yeah. What did he say? Did he say he was going to be number one day?
Yeah. Oh, man, I was humble.
He said, I'm coming for your spot.
I said, what's up, guys? I said, y'all sound great.
Keep my seat warm.
Y'all don't know me, but you'll see my name again.
Yeah, no, I don't remember what we talked about, but I just remember you coming up and man, now you're everywhere.
No, I mean, I was watching y'all. I was up close at the altar watching y'all's chord shapes and stuff, taking notes.
Oh, man.
Y'all bless me. But anyways, back to the question. So you've been playing music all these years. When did you, like, I guess, fall in love with the whole recording and songwriting and stuff? Like, I'm just thinking from a younger person's perspective that's wanting to get into these things. Like, what has the path been for you?
Yeah. So as far as, like, production goes, it was actually, I was on a trip with a friend. We were kind of on a little bit of a road trip, and he had an old MacBook Pro.
Kurt has one of those.
I don't even know if it was a MacBook Pro. I think it might have been just like a MacBook. Just, it super old.
Not Pro.
It wasn't Pro. Yeah. No, I don't know.
MacBook AM.
Yeah. But it had GarageBand on it, and he was just like, man, you should mess around with that. I think you'll like it. And so the whole trip, I think it was like a 7-hour trip or 8-hour trip, I was just sitting back there, and I was just messing with the loops. I wasn't even making anything. I was just putting different loops together. So I was probably like, you know, putting these
Shaker number 7.
Shaker
shakers. 7 with Shaker 6.
yeah. Putting like disco drums with like
Shaker 7.
flamenco guitar, like just, yeah. And so Yeah, but I loved it. I mean, I fell in love with it, and it was just like, man. So that's where the production began for me. Is just doing that, and it sounds basic and it sounds silly, but that's, where it started for me. And I mean, yeah, as far as songwriting goes, I didn't start writing until a little bit later. I was probably like 17, maybe 17. Yeah. And I can't even tell you the first song I wrote. I don't even remember, but
It's not out there hitting any Billboard charts or anything.
no, man, it's probably awful. It's probably awful. Yeah.
You had the nerve to tell someone, though. Like, you had the nerve to show someone you'd written a song, though. I think that can be a difficult part.
Yeah, that's the thing, and a lot of people, I think, some of the young people that I work with, they're just like, I think a common thing that young people say is just like, oh, I can never do that. Or, I don't even know. No, I can't do that, and they just don't even give themselves a chance, and yeah, it's probably going to be an awful song, I guess.
Yeah.
It's all subjective, but I mean, yeah.
I heard someone say if you're not embarrassed by your first try, then you waited too long. I feel like that's, at some point you just have to throw it out there, even how daunting it is,
Right.
Kurt, you didn't start with the GarageBand, did you?
I did not.
That's
I was
why
a
you
little
don't-
before
That's why
that.
you don't use Logic.
I was a little before.
That explains it.
So what were you?
Pro Tools was literally my
Pro Tools?
first
Okay.
thing. Yeah.
It's like his MacBook AM came with Pro Tools on it.
No, it wasn't my computer. It was just Pro Tools. So when I eventually got a computer, I actually still have a hacked version of Pro Tools 10
Can I have it?
on my laptop.
So was Pro Tools before like?
Pro Tools came in a box, and you like pushed it around, and you would open the box,
Yeah.
and there was Pro Tools in there.
But was there? I mean, were they the first, or was there like Reason or Fruity Loops? Or
But Reasons, you couldn't record in it before. That's a new development. Fruity
Okay.
Loops.
It was just Reason was just
Pro
like
Tools
Drum-
is
drum
like,
prog-
yeah, sequencer.
There you go. Yeah,
yeah,
he knows what he's talking about. He's just Pro Tools.
yeah. But this ain't his first rodeo.
Well, so you talk about where you started in music, and we've seen your website. Do you want to share with everyone like your testimony? If not, I can edit that question out.
No,
Then
no,
we go.
that's totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's totally fine. So I grew up in the church. My family's always been involved in ministry. My dad's a preacher, and so I kind of I was one of those kids that slept under the pews.
Yeah.
Just growing up in church. So
You didn't actually live there.
no, we could have as much as we were there. No. I'd grown up in this, and we moved around a lot. Kind of moved to a couple different churches. Ended up in Sacramento at the Rock Church, and that was a really formative time for me as far as music and being a musician. A lot of talent or whatever I do have, I can attribute to that time there, and the opportunities that were given to me there. So I still have a lot of close friends and family in that church. Love them all. So I about when I was, I'd say 13, we moved to the Rock Church up until I was 20. And when I was 20, I kind of went through what every young person probably goes through throughout my teenage years. But when I was 20, I think that was when I finally decided that, I didn't want to live that kind of lifestyle anymore or live for the Lord. And so my brother and I had always done music together. He was living in Nashville at the time. I was 20, and so I reached out to him and told him that or asked him if I moved there, if we would pursue music together as like a duo, because we had always done it together before he left, and people seemed to like it, and so he agreed. And yeah, so I just didn't want anything to do with the church or God, and I moved to Nashville and kind of did the starving musician thing where you work a lame job, and when you come home, you write music.
Ouch, you're on my toes.
No. Oh, man. But yeah, you write music, and you, just try to reach out to a bunch of industry people, most of which just tell you to leave them alone and don't solicit. But yeah, anyways, so did that for a couple of years. And finally we got through to some people that were interested in hearing what we had to say, or our music, and so we eventually signed a publishing deal with a publishing company in Nashville, and were able to quit our day jobs and just do that full time. And so we were super excited. We just wake up, go to the studio, and write songs every day. Some of which were for our personal band project, and then others were for other artists. So we were kind of signed a deal as an artist / songwriter to where we did both. But toured a little bit as an opening band for a rapper, and did that for a little bit, and then just continued writing songs. And I just began to find myself in places doing things that I never thought I would have done, and just didn't really like the person I was becoming. Around that time, we were actually on tour, and the rapper's drummer was a good friend of ours, and I ended up meeting I met a girl through him. We started dating. Well, she was also in the music industry, but in the Christian side, and so we started dating. And our first date, I remember she wanted to start talking about God, and
Too soon, huh?
I was like, man, great, this is going great, and so we talked about God. Oddly enough, even though I wasn't serving the Lord or didn't care to or any of that, I for whatever reason it bothered me that we viewed God differently. She was a Trinitarian, and that really bothered me, even though I wasn't. Yeah, I
still knew.
I still knew, and that's one thing you can't ever. It's true what preachers say. Can't ever get away from it, And so came back. Long story short, I came back to visit my family. There was Brother Mayo was putting on a symposium where he had a bunch of different doctors, professors that were speaking on the apostles' doctrine. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I'll go check it out. And I was thinking, I'm going to go back there, and I have no intentions of of coming back to church. I'm done with it or whatever, but I want to be able to explain to her,
Oh, wow.
you know, what's true, even though I don't want any part of it. This is what I want to, you know. So I was going back to get some ammunition, you know. I was getting some ammo to go back and I guess debate my girlfriend at the time. And so when I got there, had this radical experience with God, and felt like he told me I needed to let the music thing go. And so I ended up calling my brother and the next day and blindsided him, and yeah. And so that's kind of like how it happened, I guess, very vaguely, but yeah.
Actually,
That's
very
crazy.
deep.
I know,
Yeah.
that's crazy. It's just so crazy that you were going to get, you know,
Yeah.
you were going so you could argue, basically.
Yeah. So I had no intentions. You know, I was just going to come dip my toe in and
Yeah.
And
get
head on
out. Get
That is
out
wild.
and, you know, just so I could prove her wrong and be like, okay, this is the truth. I guess I hadn't, you know, figured out what I was going to do after that.
That's all you need to know. Well, we got 1 minute and 30 seconds, I think. Right, Kurt?
Yeah.
Something like that. So we got rapid fire just really quick. What was your first car?
My first car, I think it was a Toyota Corolla.
If you weren't a musician, you would be a...
If I wasn't a musician, man, I think I would like to be an artist, like a
painting artist.
painting or drawing. Yeah,
Strat or Telly?
Strat, just because that's all I've ever known.
Preach. Washington or Cali?
Washington.
Piece of gear you recommend under $200?
It's actually free
Okay.
if you have an iPhone.
What is it?
It is probably two things. I would say the Notes app and the Voice Memo app.
Money. All right, Kyle, we appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us today.
Thanks for having me on. It's been awesome.
If people want to find you, where can they go?
Well, I have a website, kylegazande.com. I don't know how long it'll be up, or I don't
10,
know.
9.
Yeah.
8.
Apple Music, Spotify.
Instagram, all your posts are deleted. That's a wrap. Thanks, guys.
Does it cut off at 29? Yeah. Oh.
All right, guys. We hope you enjoyed that as much as we did.
We had our great friend Kyle Guisande with us. Very talented. If you liked it,
Make sure to subscribe for more quality content. Leave a good review on the podcast app. And we got kind of cut off on time on that interview. Our cameras are limited to 25 minutes, so we just kind of had to make do. But if you have any more questions for Kyle, go ahead and hit up his DMs. I think he checks them.
he does. He just got back on Instagram.
He doesn't have any posts yet, but just go ahead and hit him up there. And if you have any questions for us, hit us up on Instagram.
Yeah, hit us up. We missed you guys, and we're back.
That's right. We have merchandise available, theconvokc.com, cups.
How's that taste?
Tastes like a good deal.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, we got a very special guest. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah, don't want to miss it. All right.
So.